On the morning of April 19th, 2026, in Shreveport, Louisiana, officers responded to what they were told was a domestic disturbance. By the time the scene was fully processed, they discovered that the incident was something that felt impossible to hold on to. 10 people had been shot. 7 of them were his own children. And
now, what would possess a man to kill all his children? What would possess a man to kill all his children? God damn, let's get into it, man.
I was just with my grandbabies the other day, and we was having so much fun. And I say for any grandparent out there, be happy. Be happy with your grandkids and have fun with them. I'm just praying that everything will be all right for my daughter. She's in the hospital right now. She's fighting.
To wake up and to hear this kind of news that someone would shoot 8 innocent children, it's just unreal.
8 children that are deceased. I can't be strong for you. I think about the mother and what this family has lost. I think about this community and what this community has lost. And I don't have the words to give you, and I'm sorry.
New details tonight about the mass shooting in Louisiana that left 8 children dead early this morning. Police have identified the gunman as the father of 7 of the victims. Authorities say he also killed the children's cousin and critically injured their mother and another boy.
On the morning of April 19th, 2026, in Shreveport, Louisiana, officers responded to what they were told was a domestic disturbance. By the time the scene was fully processed, they discovered that the incident was something that felt impossible to hold on to. 10 people had been shot. 7 of them were his own children, and one of the other people injured was his wife, Shamar Elkins.
I don't care how much me and my wife argue. I don't give a fuck how many times I don't threaten. I pack my bags and left them at the goddamn door. I ain't finna go nowhere. I done packed all my bags and shit. But I ain't going nowhere. I'm not killing my kids.
In the weeks leading up to that morning, Shaniqua had been making a string of posts on social media that seemed to point to one thing. She was done. Reportedly, that was what set everything in motion. Neighbors described him as a good and present father, someone who showed up for his kids. Just weeks before, this same man had been smiling for photos with his children. Now, he was at the center of this tragedy, with those same kids in body bags on West 79th Street. Before we get too deep, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you find value in these discussions. Shamar Elkins grew up and built his life in Shreveport. He was 31 years old and had already served in the United States Army. Shaniqua Elkins had posted a photo of him in his Army uniform back in 2016, writing that she had been waiting for him to come home. They had been together for a long time and stayed together for years after it. They officially made it legal on April 9th, 2024, which also happened to be Shaniqua's birthday. Shaniqua posted about it that same day, writing, "We finally made it official. I got married on my birthday." By 2025, they had been together for 10 years, had 4 daughters, and a marriage that was only a year old at that point. On April 10th, 2025, Shaniqua marked their first wedding anniversary on Facebook. She wrote, "Happy first anniversary to us. I thank you for everything that you did for me today. I enjoyed every moment of it. Shamar Elkins, 10 long years and 4 beautiful girls. What a time we had." Now, one of the things that made this family complicated from the outside was the last names. Shamar had children across multiple households. 4 of his daughters with Shaniqua carried the Elkins name, but there were other children who carried the last names Pugh and Snow. All of those children were part of his world. He did not keep them separate, at least not on the surface. He showed up for all of them, posted about all of them, and by all visible accounts, presented himself as a father who was present. On April 5th, 2026, Shamar posted a photo of himself outside a church with his 7 children all dressed up, and he was smiling like a man who had everything. The caption read, "Happy Easter. Had a wonderful time at church for the first time with all my kids. What a blessed day." But here's the thing. Underneath that image, something had been pulling at this family for a while, and the social media trail tells a story that, looking back, is very hard to look away from. Back in March 2026, Shamar shared a post from a Facebook page. The post asked fathers a question. If they could go back in time and have their same kids with a different woman, would they do it? Shamar responded publicly, "Hell yeah, I would." He was a married man, and he said that publicly on his own Facebook page. 4 days later, on March 12th, Shamar posted something brief but striking. It simply read, "Understand to be misunderstood." No context, no explanation, just those 4 words. Then came April, and things started to shift more visibly from Shaniqua's end. On April 8th, Shaniqua shared a post that read, "When a woman replaces you with peace and not another man, it is really over for you."
When a woman replaces you with peace and not another man, yeah, it's done. It's fucking done. Yo, God. Yo, holy shit. Those are some lyrics. Oh, goddamn. There was trouble in paradise. She had enough. Whatever was going on, she had enough. She wants her peace. Oh, my God. Let's continue.
Then on April 10th, Shaniqua shared another post. This one was longer. It read, "For the first time in my life, I do not want to be nobody's woman or wife. I know what it feels like to be a wife. To cook, clean, hold it down, share your bed, your space, your whole life. To pour into a man daily and still make sure everything is straight. I do not want to wash no man's clothes. I do not want to share my bed. I do not want to hear what are we eating every day. I do not want to adjust my peace for nobody. I am not bitter. I am just done playing that role. Right now, I am choosing me, my peace, and my freedom, and I am not explaining that to nobody." Shaniqua was done. That much was clear from her own words, and reportedly, people close to the situation confirmed the same thing. She had made up her mind. 3 days later, on April 13th, she shared one more post. "The crazy part is, I do not even hate you. I just do not feel you anymore. That love turned into lessons, and them lessons turned into distance. So now you're finally ready, and I am finally done. That is what bad timing looks like." 3 posts in less than a week, each one more direct than the last. She was communicating very clearly in her own way that this chapter was closing. Now, while all of this was playing out online, Shamar posted something that at the time probably looked like any other father-daughter moment. On April 17th, 2026, he took his oldest daughter out for a one-on-one lunch date. Just the 2 of them. He posted a photo of her in the car, eating, and wrote that he had to catch her off guard to make it happen. 2 days later, in the early hours of April 19th, 2026, the domestic situation that had been building between Shamar and Shaniqua reached a point that no one could have fully anticipated. The sequence of events, as pieced together by investigators, started on Harrison Street, a few blocks away from the main residence on West 79th Street. That was where Shaniqua was. Shamar went there first, and she was shot at that location. Her injuries were serious, described by police as life-threatening. Shamar did not stop at Harrison Street. From there, he went to the residence on the 300 block of West 79th Street, the home where the children were. And that is where the scale of what he did became something that officers who arrived on scene said they had never encountered in their entire careers. 7 children were found inside that home. An 8th child was found outside, in the area between the house and the back of the property. All 8 of them lost their lives. 7 of them were Shamar's own biological children. The 8th was their cousin. A second adult woman was also shot at the West 79th Street location. She too was in critical condition. The 13-year-old boy who had escaped from the Harrison Street location had jumped from a roof at some point during the ordeal. He sustained some injuries, but survived and is expected to recover. After the incident, Shamar left the scene and carjacked a vehicle just down the road, at the corner of West 79th Street and Linwood Avenue. Shreveport police patrol officers located the vehicle and a chase began, from Shreveport across the parish line and into neighboring Bossier City. The chase ended when officers discharged their firearms, and Shamar Elkins was pronounced deceased at the scene. Louisiana State Police took over that portion of the investigation. By the time the full scene was processed, investigators were working across 4 locations: the Harrison Street residence, the 2 homes on West 79th Street, and the site in Bossier City where Shamar was shot by police. Chris Bordelon of the Shreveport Police Department described it as one of the most extensive crime scenes the department had ever encountered.
Yo, this brother fucked up, man. I ain't gonna lie. This brother, come on, bro. Now, wife is in critical condition. All 7 of your children ain't alive. You're not alive. It's not worth it, man. Oh.